Welcome, everyone! We hope you're finding great ways to be more sustainable in your daily lives. And on that note, please reach out to us in the comments section or via our website if you have ideas you'd like to share with your fellow environmentally aware swarmers, or if you have a specific subject you'd like us to unpeel for you. Today, we're talking wind, because June 15th is Global Wind Day. This is coordinated by the Global Wind Energy Council and Wind Europe. It's a day for discovering wind, its power, and the possibilities it holds to reshape our energy systems, decarbonize our economies, and boost jobs and growth. These are strong words and big aspirations, but transitioning to be more sustainable using renewable energies is a huge step in that direction. We support Global Wind Day, and you can too. But first, let's talk about capturing wind energy for electricity production. And it isn't just corporations who can build and run wind turbines with energy output. Individuals can have small wind turbines, which can be placed on or near your property to allow you to personally tap into this renewable, clean energy source. There are some important factors to consider, but if your property ticks the boxes, you can start becoming less dependent on grid electricity. You will need to have access to clean wind, which is smooth, laminar wind, not interrupted by turbulence. This means you'll likely live in a coastal or flat rural area. You'll need to have no significantly tall vegetation or buildings close by, and have clean wind at a speed of 5 meters per second. You will also need to check for planning permissions requirements. To capture enough power to reduce your reliance on the power grid, or even remove yourself from it, you'll need to have a wind turbine twice the height of your house. So, when did we start using wind power? It's been around for a very long time. Wind-powered machines have been grinding grains for more than 2 millennia. Windmills pumping water in the Netherlands prevented much of the land becoming flooded and allowed for growing of fruit and tulips. The Netherlands celebrates National Mill Weekend every year. 1888 was the year the US saw a wind turbine used for electricity generation in Ohio, built by Charles Brush. Given the very early use of wind power, we must assume that it's quite simple. And yes, it is. The movement of air makes the blades turn, which then either connects directly to a generator or to an internal shaft and gearbox. Technology over the generations since wind power was first used has obviously advanced, so we now have internal gears which increase the speed of blade rotation by a factor of 100. So why can't we use this renewable source more right now? As simple as it is, unfortunately there are a few problems. Firstly, often the best wind capturing sites are remote, far from the cities where the electricity is needed. Remember that the turbine needs clean wind, as we mentioned earlier. So this can pose difficulties from both environmental and cost perspectives in getting the electricity from the source. Secondly, individual wind turbines don't generate much electricity in terms of running a whole city, so they really need to be placed in large groups called wind farms. This leads to the third argument against them, of aesthetics and noise. However, if people love their view of nature, they should accept all things which will help arrest climate change, which of course is the biggest threat to every natural landscape. Much research has been done on the health effects of wind turbine noise, and a recent literature review of 84 articles demonstrated no relationship between this noise and stress effects with biophysiological effects of sleep. Subjective opinions aside, we can still work on the optimization of the output of wind turbines. The average single wind turbine has a capacity of 2.5 megawatts and could therefore produce 6 million kilowatt hours per year, enough to provide 1,200 average US households with electricity. But the actual production figures depend on the weather, the wind to be specific. Some days are windier than others. The turbines can only operate at optimal levels when wind speed is between 30 and 50 miles per hour. When the wind speed hits 55 miles per hour, most turbines automatically shut down to prevent mechanical damage. This means that the average turbine has an efficiency of 30 to 59%. While this may seem less than ideal, let's add some perspective. The currently installed wind capacity in the US avoids an estimated 189 million metric tons of CO2 emissions. This number equates to 3% of total current US CO2 emissions. Although 3% reduction is not significant, when you look at the United States government's pledge as per the Copenhagen Accord to reduce emissions by 0 to 5% below 1990 figures, using the current installed wind capacity, the US is halfway to reaching this goal. As of 2018, here is the number of wind turbines per state in the US. Again, referring to our earlier point that clean wind is best, some states are in a better position than others to produce energy from the wind. But doubtlessly, with more pressure from the public to seek out renewable energies and leave fossil fuels behind, we can and should expect more from our government. So get out there on June 15th and revel in the breeze that blows through your hair, laugh at the wind that tugs at your necktie, throw caution to the wind as you dare to do something adventurous. Maybe harness your inner child and go fly a kite. As you marvel at the wind's power, promise yourself and the planet that tomorrow you'll be more sustainable than you were today. Thank you for joining us here at SWRM. We look forward to next time. Until then, enjoy the planet, look after it, and be your most sustainable self. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and join the SWRM.